So I just had to walk because the stupid app isn't working on my phone with the stupid camera. You know how it goes. I always have problems. Anyways, now the problem is it's all red for some reason, but that's okay because we're just going to talk about what's on the screen in a second. So, and I got my glasses on because I need them. And so we'll go over the map, we'll go over a couple other things and whatnot. Now, let's talk about BB7, 41, whatever you want to call it. And I gotta make this video in less than 30 minutes because this camera only likes to do videos for 29 minutes and blah blah seconds. So first off, I heard through the grapevine, Sire, he just dumped BBR, he wants nothing to do with it, what are we gonna do, blah blah blah. Listen, BBR will always continue. It's just as Bloodbath, right? There's no reason to give Axis and Allies the credit for all my shit anymore, right? So forget G40, it's just gonna be Bloodbath, right? It's not a Bloodbath rule set, it's just Bloodbath, right? So think of it that way. Think of it like, you know, it's not abandoned, it's just continuing on without the Axis and Allies handle behind it, right? It's not gonna be a G40 edition anymore. Forget G40, right? Just think of Bloodbath. Now, Bloodbath 41 is not gonna happen this year because, man, it is so difficult. Now, it's such a complicated game as for the mechanics and everything, and I don't mean it's complicated like, dude, it's super hard. I mean, to test it's I'm pretty sure it's the only game out there with these mechanics. And what it is I told you before, Axis go, Allies go. Axis go, Allies go. That means all the Axis and then all the Allies. However, there is an actual turn sequence. And at the beginning of your turn, now your turn as the Axis or your turn as the Allies, not your turn as like Italy or your turn as, you know, UK, your turn as Axis. You all huddle together. If you're the only player, it makes it easier. You decide, are you invoking your turn sequence, which is Germany, Italy, Japan, or are you gonna go at the same time, right? So when playtesting, you have to, okay, we're going at the same time, right? And then now Allies, how are you gonna respond? Let's invoke the turn sequence, right? And then Axis gotta respond. What do you wanna do? Well, let's invoke our turn sequence. But let's back it up. Now, Axis start the game, now we're invoking our turn sequence, right? Allies are like, nah, we're going at the same time. So it's very difficult to pinpoint a setup that doesn't get blown out of the water 2 turns later, because you have to test these scenarios back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I don't mean just like test it once, right? I mean, you gotta test it. You gotta test it. We bought all this crap, we're going at the same time. You know, they respond, you respond, they respond. How do you respond? We're doing the turn sequence, we're not doing the turn sequence, right? So, very difficult. Not gonna do it this year for the tournament. When I say tournament, I mean Atlanta BB7, right? So that is a very, like I said, it's not difficult. It's hard to pinpoint to get everything set up to be just right, to make sure that everything is kosher on both sides, at least till halfway through the game. Then when you get halfway through the game, if stuff starts sucking, it's because probably you sucked at doing something and it's your fault, right? But the game should be pretty balanced at least till midway through the game, right? And then after that, it was you can only blame yourself, you know what I mean? So I just don't feel there's enough time to do all that. Plus, have you guys out there try to, you know, best it, you know what I mean? So like, basically it'd be like, you guys show up to play, well, you know, we've already played it like 50 times, we know exactly what to do for this and this, you know what I mean? We don't want to, you know, I don't want to hand myself a gold medal, right? You know, so because you guys don't know what you're doing. So we're gonna wait till next year. Now, the 41 map was always in mind to play 40, right? So basically when you would move from G40, forget Axis and Allies, right? If you like BBRs, it means you like Bloodbath. It means you don't like Axis and Allies, which means you like Bloodbath. So we don't need to talk about G40 anymore. We need to talk about Bloodbath 40, Bloodbath 41. Now, so Bloodbath 41 map is based off of the G40 map. The G40 map is based off of a map from 1942, actual copyright 1942. So for me to ping off the G40, the only thing they did was ping off something else. Now, I dropped a lot of stuff off G40 and put it in, when I evolved 41. Now 41 is always meant to have a 40 setup. So what we're gonna do this year is for BB7, we're gonna play all the rules that you know from BB6, but we're playing on a new field, baby. We're gonna play on the 41 map, or 41 map. We're playing on the Bloodbath map. But all the rules you know, right? So all you gotta do is show up. You know exactly how to play, because you played it last year, played it the year before, played it the year before, whatever. You know exactly what to do. It's just basically you're on a new playing field. And it's like, we're gonna go over all the playing field right now. How much time we got? The 6:47? I think we got time. So I'm gonna walk around there. I'm gonna zoom the camera in right on the thing, and then we'll go over the map in detail, all the changes that I've made from the global 40, from the G40 map to Bloodbath 41/40. Okay, so remember, just some of the territories are going to be marked for 40 or for 41. Don't worry about that, because there is a 40 setup. Now, for Atlanta, I probably will edit the map as far as the roundels to represent 40, because I don't want to have to sit here at a tournament and like you got to place roundel. I don't want you to have to worry about placing roundels on this territory. Well, that's not Japan, that's not Russia, that's Japan, or or whatever. Russia, Germany, France, whatever. I don't want you to have to set up placing roundels all over the place. So I probably will make custom 40 maps per this event. Same layout as the 41, just we'll change the roundel. So let's me walk around there, because my stupid app don't work, and let me zoom in and get my dumb ass out of the way, and we'll go over the map. All right, so, oops, I got me flip the screen because I can't see what I'm doing. There we go, that looks good. Let me flip this back around. All right. Whoa, who's that guy? Okay, so let me go. Oh wait, hold on a second. This has my tools down there. All right, view. Let's go to fit on screen for the second. And what do we see here? What are we looking at? Okay. So first, you'll notice, maybe you won't. Let me see if I can get the camera. Let me zoom out again, just so we can. All right, let me go move the camera so we are right on the map. Let me flip this. Oh, we were on the map, I think. All right, so I think we're good. Let's flip this back around. Okay. Now, I'm pretty excited for this map. My big old head in the way. So, I'm pretty excited for this map because it's the color scheme I wanted to do actually since the very first map, and I kept getting talked out of it. No, you gotta have blue water, you gotta do this. I don't want blue water, but I did it anyways. About version 3, I started saturating things a little bit, get you guys used to it, and now this is where we're at. The original map I actually wanted to do in the first place, except now it doesn't go for an Axis and Allies variant, it goes for Bloodbath. Now, one thing you might notice right off the bat is the left side to the right side. It is cut down. Where's my finger? It is cut down South America, Because, well, one reason, A, is I needed to kind of stay away from the G40 map as much as possible, which I already have done a lot by making Africa big, Europe small. I actually reconfigured a lot of the G40 map already, so probably at, I don't know, 75% of the map is already mine anyways. So now what I did to make it even more so is the split. We split down South America. You'll notice now there is only 2 United States territories. There is United States, there is Western United States, except I think you got that backwards. Western, I need a stick or something, man. Hold on, I need a stick. I'll be right back. I think you got a piece of bamboo. Ah, yeah, I do. I just planted some star jasmine, and we got this bad boy here with it. So, all right, now we got a stick. Okay, so you'll notice now there's Western United States, and then there's United States. There's Western Canada. There is Canada. Period. There's no more Central U.S. There's no more freaking Quebec and Manitoba and whatever else was over there. Ontario. So that's where the split is now. So let's go into let's go see some changes now. Changes. Let's go start in the Pacific. Okay, Pacific has lots of C-zone changes. One thing you might have noticed, what the hell is that? Kuril Islands. Yes, Kuril Islands are here. Because any historian will tell you, Russia was here getting ready to attack Hokkaido when U.S. was like, wait, dude, we're going to drop the bomb. So this is, yes, you can see it. This is walk-on. You can go from Japan, Hokkaido to Kuril Islands to Soviet Far East. Works both ways. Thing about the Kuril Islands is it stops you at movement, which means you can't have a tank right here and go 1-2. It's vice versa. Can't go 1-2. All movements stop at 1 regardless. So that's a big thing right here, but it's awesome for both sides. It's not just one-sided. We go over to and you can see all the C zones are different. For example, one C zone, Philippines. Can you see Philippines on the map? Yes, you can. You now can go 1, 2, 3. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can land on a carrier, which is now called P-25. So you can land on a carrier now, versus have to be stuck on Guam for a turn or Wake Island for a turn. You can fly here, land on a carrier. Let me see. Let's start. Okay, so let's go down to here. Let's talk about the Chile. You see, the strict neutral of Peru and Ecuador were merged. I'll tell you why in a minute. A lot of the strict neutrals were merged or eliminated from the map. So you can see again is the Panama Canal to A27, and this one goes to I can't read that even though I have my glasses on, but either way it goes to the other side of the map. So let's go. Oh, Western Australia, you can see is now a resource. There's an actual resource icon right here, Western Australia. So as far as C-zone changes in this area, the C-zone changes were made to make the Philippines to P-25 available. You notice the new numbering was 2 reasons. A, to get away from Axis and Allies numbering system, but also to P is for Pacific side. When we go to the other side of the map, all the C-zones will start with A. So that way when you're setting up and you see A something, you know it's on the Atlantic side. You see P something, you know it's on the Pacific side. Let me see here. So what's here? This is all. So the C zones obviously, well, this was created, and what was adjustments were made. So let me see. The adjustments were made. So there's no possible way for U.S. to land in Kuril Islands coming off of San Francisco. So there was tweaks made to allow this C zone to not get to these C zones. So you have 1, 2, 3. You know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The farthest you can get is here, right? You can't get here in one turn. So this was edited to make sure you just couldn't do the jump. Let me see. Okay, let's go to, you can see China. China was totally revamped. Let me get a zoom in here. China, totally revamped, not only in the territories, but the names. I feel like these names are more accurate. In addition to, now we have Tibet. Tibet is also a resource. It's also a strict neutral. Now these ones right here, Si Kang and Quan Ki, or whatever you say these names, these are actually pro-China. But these were actually the warlords controlling the area. They weren't really give a crap about anybody but themselves. However, they are Chinese. Now the reason I made these pro-Chinese and not Chinese is because to keep the China point. The China, so if you don't have to keep these to keep the China point, because we know how it is when Russia just like to step in and start taking these at the last second. They like to go into the Shan Pass and they just pop out, and nothing Japan can do about it on turn 8. So now, well, Japan don't need these, right? So now these do have standing armies for Chinese to collect, China only, but this way, this makes the China point a little easier. In addition to, you know, China no longer has to keep these. Everything that has the Japanese roundel on it no longer needs to be held for the China point. It's like you just have to earn what you don't have, which is everything that's labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 territories. This helps also for Shanghai. But it would suck, you have the China point and you have Shanghai, then you lose Shanghai, and you lose the China point. It sucked, right? That no longer happens. So you get the China point a little more holdable. Let's scroll down to, you can see big change here. North Indochina and French Indochina. And what's more importantly, look to Thailand. Thailand is actually more accurate now. And it cuts off, which is now East Burma, because what was there before wasn't accurate. All this is Burma. This, what would they call it before, like Shan State or something like that? Shan State is like one little territory. This is Burma. So you get Burma, East Burma. But you can see East Burma does not connect to Malaya. That is Thailand. So it's going to be very key for UK to control this territory if they would like to rail. Okay, so quick recap. Extra resource in Western Australia, resource in Tibet. China's all reworked. And C-zone changes in Thailand. That's mainly the main things on this side of the map, plus all the South America crap that we went over, because South America is now on this side of the map. Because what would happen is when you play the G40 map, you're on the Atlantic side. However, there's the Pacific Ocean on the side of South America. So now South America, what should be in the Pacific, is in the Pacific, not on the Atlantic. Sorry for my pause. I'm taking a drink. All right. I feel like this is a briefing. You know what I mean? I'm briefing the troops. You know, this is the plan. This is the plan. Okay. Let's scroll over a little bit more. Changes here. Oh, and also too, in the midst of all this, all the coastal lines have been redrawn. I mean, all the art, little islands added here. Let's scroll back. You can see all of the islands are in here, right? Everything is labeled. The coastal lines are beautiful. Look at this. Look at that, man. That Juneau's actually where it's supposed to be. But look at all those, man. Everything is labeled. Everything has been recut for the coastal lines. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. You notice Iran. Iran is no longer 3 territories, it is 2. That is to make it easier for both sides, makes it easier for Axis and makes it easier for allies, for railing. It actually makes it tangible that if you do if say Germany and Italy do a Middle East conquest, it's actually tangible for them to help out in India. Before, it's kind of impossible. You know, you nickel and dime right here, then you nickel and dime right here when it's 2 territories. The furthest you can get is West India. Well, now, with rail and everything, you can get there. But it also works for the Allies. The Allies can actually get to over here faster too. So this helps. This helps everybody. And you notice, there is a new Lend-Lease. So on the Lend-Lease card, you now have 3 options. However, during the rolling session, you only get to pick 2. You can always pick 2 of any 3 that you wish, provided those are available for you to pick. So there are 3 options now. You know the other 2. This is the added one. Some just summary naming right here: Lebanon, Syria. Nothing changed right here, other than the cut lines to make it more pleasing to the eye. Same thing over here, just more pleasing to the eye. However, you'll notice all the strict neutrals right here, I think there was 2 or 3, are gone. They've just been cleared off. They made 0 point to the game, and we didn't need them anymore. And the reason we cleaned up the strict neutrals, I'll tell you in a little bit. So, I think that was all of the changes. Was just getting rid of the strict neutral. Oh no, the big one, Sahara Desert. Sire, why is there lines in the middle of the Sahara Desert? Because it is impassable to all units other than strategic and heavy bombers. Yes, that means your planes can now fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get to Egypt. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get to Belgian Congo. You can be over here in Tunis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make it to South America. Those fly over the storms. Now you can use those to like zigzag your way into strategic positions, dropping para. You know, if you have heavy bombers, dropping tanks, whatever. It looks like we've got 8 minutes left. Wow, this is going to be difficult to wrap up. I'm going to have to speed it up a little bit. So let's go up, scroll up to here. What's happened over here is Russia. First off, you'll notice that the Baltic states have been split up to Lithuania and Estonia. Pripyat marshes is no longer impassable. You can go through there if you like. Now, what has been added, the city of Kaluga, city of Tula, Kursk, all have been added. And what that does is make it 1 step further away in any direction to Russia. So Russia, from whether you're playing 40, is 5 away. I mean, if you're playing 40, is 5 away. If you're playing 41, is 4 away. Not 3 away. Especially because, you know, they have that blitzkrieg. And now, you know, 41 going at the same time, blah, blah, blah. Even though we're not using the 41 rules, it still had to be prepped, had to be groomed for 41. But remember, we did add the blitzkrieg in BB6. So even though it's 5 territories away, technically is 4 if you do it correctly. Some territory changes. Moscow's 5, plus there's a couple bonuses in here of 1 for the added territories. The startup money is different for everybody from G40 as well. All right, let's move along. Same. Just the borders have changed. Nothing else is different. We're good. A C zone was canceled in here. This is only 1, 2, 3. No, there was one that was canceled in here. I forget exactly where it was. Some of this stuff has happened so long ago, hard to keep track. Looks like I got 5 minutes left. I gotta hurry. So then we come over here. You can see Canada now, just its entity is worth 5. Labrador and Newfoundland is a little island. You got New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. These sea zones have changed a tad. It's still impossible for America to get here on 1 turn, but there are some nuances in here to be discovered. One thing that is to be discovered, you got to watch out for here, Iceland, because there's only 1, 2, and you can take Canada. So if you got a bunch of Germans right here, don't make sure you don't leave Canada open, right? Or make sure you got America ready to back them up. Let me see here. Oh, Venezuela. Venezuela is now in oil because during these rabbit holes I go down trying to do the map, find out Venezuela in World War II was the biggest supplier of oil. Like, well, how I didn't know that. They need an oil icon. Then you'll see Bolivia, Paraguay was merged. Uruguay went to pro-allied. That's more for 41, but we're just going to leave it alone for 40. And I think that concludes all of the mods. I'm pretty sure nothing else stands out. So now, I haven't decided if I'm gonna. There's a new VP in 41, which is why the strict neutrals have changed. I may or may not add it in Atlanta this go. I may or may not. Got to think about it. But what it is access control 5 of the 9 strict neutrals, and that's a VP. So you know it gets easy. I mean, at the end you take Switzerland, you can take Sweden, but the strict neutral rules have also changed in Bloodbath. I guess I'll have to go over that in another video because we're at 26 minutes. I don't have time to go over it, but I mainly wanted to go over the map and the changes and let you guys know that we're playing this map in Atlanta this year, but we're playing the rules you know, and the setup will be pretty close to what we set up. Obviously, some things got to change because this is no longer Baltic states. You know, this was Baltic states, had 3 infantry here. Maybe there'll be 2 infantry and 1 infantry. I got to play with the setup a little bit, but it's going to be pretty close to what you are used to playing. You know what I mean? Maybe we just put all 3 guys here in Lithuania, whatever. I haven't actually done the setup yet, but we will. It'll be as close as humanly possible to make it to what you're used to. Just let me go through this really quick before time runs out to make sure that we covered everything. Let me zoom out. Oh, you can see right here. See, these are all A's. You know, A60, A59. Just Atlantic side, Pacific side for the numbering system of the sea zones. Oh, the Ural Mountains was added. Now it's impassable. Just makes a little more of a detour for Japan. If Japan's running down the road, you know, they just gotta dip under for a minute and get Urals versus driving straight there. It makes them have one more turn to get there, which almost makes it impossible for them to get there at this point, unless they have some rogue tank just going and nobody's stopping it, right? But they, you know, for the most part, Japan won't get here now, which happened very rare. Usually, Japan would be here, and then Russia would there'd be battles, and Japan, I don't think, ever held it anyways. But now it is pretty much not going to happen. And I think that is it. So it's the new look for the map. We have a new look. I think it's beautiful. I think it's the best map that has been yet. This is the, you know, very, very happy with this map. So I guess I'm gonna sit here and finish my drink and let you guys go. We walk around and push that button since I got no remote. So I'll post more later about going to Atlanta and about BB7 and what we're gonna be doing and not doing. But at least now you know what the haps is. We're playing this map, old rules. All right, later, guys. Let me get this turned off here. Later.